Okay, amid the controversial situation in terms of financial misappropriation of the APC chairperson Abdullahi Ganduje, he was highly celebrated by members of his team. Now, here is the thing. During the presidential media chat, the president was asked on his stance about corruption. The president actually, when one of the journalists asked and said, there is corruption ongoing in the grand scheme of things, one person owning about 700 and something properties. And the president's response was about having to fight out the root cause of corruption and not necessarily having to, name names. He also said he was not going to probe the military. Now, there are a lot of inconsistencies that has to do with some finances within the Nigerian military. Would you say that since the president did not really disclose so much on his administration's stance on fighting corruption, that we expect to see more of corruption-related activities within his administration?
Well, I don't know what was in the mind of the character of the journalist who asked Mr. Bola Tinubu about corruption. But I think that was a waste of comment. I mean, there was no need to have asked Mr. Tinubu about corruption. When you go to the antecedents of Mr. Tinubu, to the fact that he paid about $460,000 fine for drug trafficking and money laundering offenses to the U.S. government, you look at his antecedents in terms of his schools in Chicago, you look at other factors, you now begin to wonder what is that all about? I mean, and then it's not unexpected that when you call, hello?
I can hear you, Barrister. Go ahead,
okay,
please.
Yes. It's not unexpected that the same Mr. Tinubu, without appropriation by the National Assembly, awarded a 15 trillion naira contract for the so-called coastal highway. He purchased a presidential jet without mass approval, without approval of the National Assembly. These are all monumental acts of corruption. So why would any journalist ask the same man about corruption? And I think the answer he gave was what was expected. He is not interested in fighting corruption. Rather, he will claim that he's fighting the causes of corruption. I mean, that is ludicrous. I remember he was making one of the things he said was about the loan to schools for university school fees and all that stuff. What has that got to do with corruption? So the question itself was asked to the wrong person. And in reality, if you look at what's going on even with the so-called EFCC trial, corruption is being elevated to a national policy. It's now being celebrated. Yahaya Bello was being celebrated by his friends, and even in a court appearances, it's celebrated with lavish, with grandeur. So there is nothing about corruption is being done by this government. I mean, absolutely zero. And so no need to ask about corruption. I think what is saying for now, hopefully, when a new government comes to office, some kind of accountability for this atrocities, atrocious corruption.